What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Tonight we're going to be talking about Dark Hunters and how they are more than just a Heroes for Hire counter. We know they can beat up Heroes for Hire. We know they can beat up Web Warriors. And we want to just kind of see what else we can do. The one team I'm not going to be covering in this, I know people are asking about, is going to be Young Avengers. That's going to have its own dedicated video because there's a lot of like strategy and nuance to talk about with that one. That one's going to be a little more complicated. This is more to just kind of run down a bunch of different teams that you're just going to walk right through. Because of the addition of Morbius, any team that's got defense up on spawn gets shredded. Any team that's got deflect on spawn also is going to have a real rough time against Dark Hunters. Because Morbius is just going to flip those defense up, those deflects. He's going to flip them all. Does some incredible stuff. So we're going to break down like 8 or 9 different fights tonight in this video. So if you guys do enjoy this video, you do find it helpful, make sure that like button and subscribe to the channel. And let's just dive right into it. Alright, so we're going to be starting one here. This is Uncanny X-Men. The power difference, this is the playtest server, so everyone's the same gear tier, same T4s, levels, your red stars, yellow stars. So really this is just coming down to a difference in ISO, that's all it is. But I wanted to bring up this one first because I talked about how Morbius flips defense up into defense down. And you're going to see that with this fight. This whole Uncanny team starts with defense up. So what you're going to do here, you're going to basically use this ultimate from Morbius. I'm knocking things over. There you go. Everyone on the enemy team gets defense down except for Colossus. But Brother Voodoo, or Dr. Voodoo, is going to take care of that here in a second. Because Phoenix is right here next to Colossus. And basically, you're going to mind control Phoenix to hit Colossus. You're going to get those bleeds onto your Magic, Cyclops, and Storm over there. Here you go. Right there. Mind control. Phoenix Basic has bonus focus on it for that Dispel. Gets through the bonus resistance that Colossus has when he has defense up. Now his defense up is gone. So now you are free to wail away on some other characters here. Elsa comes in and just absolutely hammers those characters over there with her ultimate here. You can see 444k on that. And this is with Stryker on her as well. So yeah, she's doing some crazy damage. I've got Stryker. I believe I've actually, or is this where? Because I've been doing so much experimentation with ISOs, I can't even keep them straight. Yeah, I do have Stryker on Elsa. I've got Skirmisher on Dr. Voodoo and Mordo, and then I've got Stryker on the other 3. But really, Elsa just completely demolishes them. Now we're gonna take out both Cyclops and Magic over there. Now Phoenix is using her ability here, and this is actually not bad. What I did before was I used Mordo's special to stun Phoenix, and that gave me time to clean up the entire board and then come back to Phoenix afterwards. I could also just hammer down Colossus as well, and there's no problem here. So now Phoenix comes back, but we have so much damage on our team, we're just going to cut right through Colossus here. And yeah, steal health from them, get immunity on our characters, get rid of that defense up. And there, Elsa again just completely deletes freaking Colossus. Get the special here from Mordo to stun Phoenix. And look at that double tap from Morbius. Basically took her from full down to about a third of her health left. Stacked a ton of bleeds here. This is where that Stryker on him becomes very, very helpful. And then, yeah, finishes off there with Phoenix. So, yeah, that was one I wanted to show off first because, like, just so you can get a demonstration of taking that defense up, flipping it into defense down the whole team, and then just wailing away. Like, that Elsa ultimate and that special from Ghost Rider. Yeah, I mean, look at how much damage Elsa did there with her ultimate, and that's how much was left on that Cyclops and Magic. Another quick one for you guys is going to be Doc Ock, and we're just getting kind of warmed up here showing some things. This is another team that actually gets a lot of deflects at the beginning, and Morbius is just going to flip that all from deflects into bleeds, and because he has such high damage, those bleeds are actually going to deal a lot of damage when it comes time for that to happen. So we're just going to go from one end to the other. It doesn't matter. There's no city heroes here on the Sinister Six team. You don't have to worry about Disrupted. You don't have to worry about Trauma or Heal Block. You're really here to just wipe them out. And there you go, the mind control takes care of Doc. Doc's gonna move, and then those bleeds just kill him. So yeah, you just stack up those bleeds, does some great stuff there. We're gonna stun Rhino because we don't want him clearing blinds off or anything. Then we finish off Swarm and Mysterio and Rhino. And this one's actually over pretty quickly. Nothing too crazy there. Yeah, I just want to show this. This is just a little warm-up, just so you guys can see, like, what we're talking about here with these deflects and clearing things. And here's something a little more relevant, and that is Web Warriors. Web Warriors are going to get big punch-ups from Dark Hunters. You know, they're all city heroes. Morbius comes into play. He gets blind on all of them at the start. He gains bonus focus against your city hero characters. You're basically just going to go for Ghost Spider. You're going to take her out, and then just work your way through. Scarlet Spider's another high priority because he has the heals with the team. But this entire team's got blinds right now. And yeah, that's all you're really doing is you're just kind of taking them out. We're going to try to do some mind control here on regular Spider-Man so that we don't get him using his defense down ability. Though, of course, he's got blind, so what's it really matter? Finish off Ghost Spider, and now work on Ghost Spider, or Scarlet Spider, and worry about these other two characters at the same time. Really, every time they dodge, Elsa's going to deal a ton of damage to them. This is where the Striker comes into play with her. So really, at the end of the day, you're not really missing out on a lot because these dodges, they do get some speed bar, they get some buffs, but Elsa deals a ton of damage to them in the process. She gets offense up from her ultimate if you want to do that. Yeah. I mean, this was pretty much a punch across, but I mean, just how easy that was. You're talking 200, 300k punch-ups against Web Warriors. That shouldn't be a problem. And a lot of people are going to be investing in Web Warriors. Ironically enough, both Dark Hunters and Web Warriors are the featured teams for the upcoming Scourge event with Morgan Le Fay. So, yeah, you're building up Web Warriors, most likely because of the raid. And now you got Dark Hunters, where if you're not using them against Heroes for Hire, you can also use them against Web Warriors. And this one was actually requested by a couple people. They want to see what you could do against Emma teams. And this is going to have Sabretooth. And that buffed Sabretooth can make things a little tricky here. And by that, I mean that he's going to have a lot of damage. And most of this enemy Marauders team is going to move first. Because Emma with her negative speed. So most of this Emma team is going to move. But once they move, it should be okay. If Sabretooth is not here, this does not feel as dicey. Really, with Sabretooth here, it feels kind of sketch. You're going to see some of my characters get really low on health as this fight goes on. Like, you can see how much damage Sabretooth's ultimate did to my Dark Hunters team here. So, like, both Morbius and Dr. Voodoo took a ton of damage. There's a lot of bleeds going around. But, you know, we are seeing a lot of Weapon X now. Omega Red has returned. So, Sabretooth is probably not long for Marauder teams. So, you know, you're probably going to find team variants with like Minerva or Ghost or something. Those are much easier, much more manageable. With Ghost, every time she dodges, she heals, but she takes damage from Elsa. So, you know, this one's not too bad. Ultimate for Morbius. Flip all these deflects and defense downs. We got dodged by Mystique here, but, you know, Elsa does some damage to her. Gonna try to take out Strife here as quickly as possible. He's getting pretty close. There we go. He's done. Now, try to go for Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister's gone. Emma is about to die. And then you just have Sabretooth and Mystique left. So yeah, not bad at all. A lot of bleeds building up on these two characters as well. Steal that max health. Finish off Emma. Finish off Mystique. And then finish off Sabretooth. So really, you know, if you're not fighting against Sabretooth, this is going to be a cakewalk, really. You're talking another big punch-up with this team. Now, this is one I kind of called when I first saw this team and the mechanics with Morbius. I was like, ooh, if you're not fighting Heroes for Hire, I could see this working really well against Secret Avengers. And surprisingly, this one works quite well. This is the variant where you've got Kestrel and Coulson. You don't have Nick Fury and Kestrel together. I've seen people go for the Nick Fury variant, but that's where you bring in symbiotes or astonishing X-Men and you roll right over it. The Coulson one seems to be a little more difficult, but for your Secret Event or for your Dark Hunters, this is really no challenge at all. Once again, we start with Morbius. Now, Captain Sam, while he has deflect, has 300% bonus resistance, and Morbius only gains 300% bonus focus against city heroes. So you're not going to clear the deflects on him, but you can use the rest of your team to kind of build them up in here and get rid of them. And you can see we actually killed the Coulson pretty easily here. What I've actually done before is actually, yeah, the ultimate from Elsa between the ultimate from Elsa and the special from Ghost Rider, that will kill Coulson pretty quickly. Look at this damage here, 480k on that Captain Sam. Captain Sam is gone. We're going to stun Sharon. We don't have to worry about her stun right now. Call in the Shield Troopers. And this is also something here too. If the Shield Troopers are bunched up here, any minions that are bunched up like this is very advantageous for your Dark Hunters, because all this means is that Morbius is going to use his special here in a second, put bleeds on all these characters here, which means more speed bar for your team. So there you go, bleeds. There is now another 9% speed bar for your team. Gonna work on both Maria and Sharon, try to get them finished off. Steal some health here. Get immunity on our team. Get the heal block out. And that should finish off most of the team. And then, yeah, we just got Sharon left. But at this point, there you go. I actually want to pull that up because you can actually see there's the bonus ISO attack. There's the health drain, I believe. Or I believe that's the piercing damage. There's like 3 attacks in quick succession. Can't even speak. There's his first attack. Then he follows up with his ISO attack and another tick of damage here as well. And keep in mind that if the target has bleeds on them, which he does put a bleed here with his basic, he puts bleeds on them, his ISO attack will then steal 10% max health from the target and heal himself, bypassing heal block. So you get a ton of damage there with Morbius just by using that basic with vulnerable on someone, which is easy enough to do with both Dr. Voodoo and Mordo having Skirmisher on them. You'll have plenty of vulnerable to go around. You're going to get vulnerable, and then Morbius uses his basic, does the bleeds, follows up it again, applies more bleeds, and then also steals max health. So yeah, this was a really fun one to try out. And there was 2 versions of this new Warriors team. This one I'm trying instead because there's an Emma here and there's Surfer here. The old one I thought was like Shuri and Drax. And this one I like a little bit more because Surfer's here, Emma's here. It makes it a little more challenging. This means I have to take off Mordo, bring in Emma, because I need to make sure my characters move before. If this has like Drax on it, it's really not that much of a problem. It's still just chained down the line, taking care of things. But Mordo against Mystic characters, if you're fighting Mystic enemies, Mordo is amazing. You can see I've been using Mordo for pretty much all my fights for the reason that Mordo is, I just really like Mordo. Hela works great too, and maybe I'll do a video on that in the future, but Mordo, because of his special with the blinds and the stun and that heal block and just a ton of negative effects that he's bringing out on his tier on the enemy, gain that speed bar from the passive with Ghost Rider. I like him a little bit better than Hela. You know, if you're fighting against someone that's got like ability block, you can put the ability blocks out. You can use Hela to spread that, which is great. But that seems, I kind of like Mordo a little bit better. And against New Warriors, Mordo is miles ahead of Hela here, because every time you defeat a Mystic character, Mordo gives ability energy to your team. So, you know, anytime we're fighting a Mystic team, it's going to be great. And I do want to see how this team fares against the Darkhold team that we're going to be seeing here in the next patch with Morgan, with Scarlet Witch. I do want to see how Scarlet Witch works with Dark Hunters, because she has a supernatural attack, so she gets the bonus of the speed bar. But I also want to see how this Dark Hunters team is going to fare against the Dark Hunters and Darkhold. Maybe there's a reason why they called them the Dark Hunters in the first place. But yeah, you kill Mystic enemies, and Mordo's just giving ability energy to your team. But you can see here, I haven't even commented on this fight so far. Really, yeah, there's nothing much to say here. We're just going to chain down the line. One thing, too, Surfer. I've got Striker on Morbius. If I'm fighting Surfer, this is where Skirmisher kind of pulls ahead. If you're fighting a character with a lot of extra resistance like Surfer does, then Skirmisher on Morbius could help make sure that you flip that defense up and the defense down on him. But honestly, against this team, it wasn't really that big of a deal. So, I mean, take it as you will. Hammering the Cloak and Dagger both have blind, by the way, because they're city heroes, and Morbius puts blind on them. So the ultimate from Cloak here is going to completely miss. So don't really need to worry about that right now. We're more focused on some of these other characters. Surfer uses his ultimate. Deathpool's going to go. Now we have the retaliation from the enemy team. Not a big deal. Emma cleanses. We get speed down on the enemy team. And now we get those bleeds. We get a little more damage on Silver Surfer. And we got to take care of Deathbolt. We don't want her transferring negative effects. So we're going to take care of her here in a moment. Healing our team back up. Boom, boom. Dagger's done. And then now we take care of Deathpool. So really you should have prioritized Deathpool over like Dagger and Surfer in that situation. But like if you don't have Emma on this enemy team, you bring someone else in, Mordo is going to be absolutely crazy with this because there's potential for you to have like several abilities repeated back and back with your Dark Hunters on a punch-up. We'll see how it all works out in actual war when we're not doing punch-across testing with everything. So I got a couple more battles for you guys here. Astonishing X-Men, the team we see quite a bit on defense, at least in my war levels. And this is really not going to be a problem. Now, Bishop's here in the center. I've seen Bishop on the edge. It doesn't really matter. There's no defense up for you to flip on the enemy team except for Bishop. Not a big deal. Gonna hit Bishop again here. And now we're gonna ability block Jubilee. Or sorry, we're gonna ability block Beast. Because we don't want him cleansing. We don't want him healing or anything. There you go. Beast is gone now with the follow-up ultimate from Elsa that hit for like 500k. Stun Jubilee with Mordo. We've got some blinds out on the enemy team. Or at least we were supposed to, but those got resisted. Offense down on Bishop, so he's not going to hit very hard. At this point, now we're just hammering Jubilee. Trying to get her finished off here. She's about done. Some more bleeds on that team. Jubilee's gone. Now we just finish off the last three. Pretty much could throw this on auto at this point. So really, like, this is what I'm talking about is they're not going to be your heroes for hire. I do want to try against some more normal Eternals comps. Like all the Eternals comps we're seeing here in the playtest server are like the Eternals with like America Chavez or like Loki, Emma, Cable. It was like Jurassic Terminator or Speed Bar boosting teams. I want to see a more normal Eternals fight out there. I don't know if I'm going to find any more at this point in the game, but I do want to try this team against Eternals, see what maybe we could figure out in the process. See if there's some way we could boost this team to get to beat Eternals in war. All right, so the final one here for you guys tonight, Black Order. And again, this is an odd positioning. You're going to see here in a second. We've got Corvus on his own next to Cole Obsidian. And, I mean, I usually see, like, Thanos next to Cole Obsidian. This one's different. And it's because the stealth here on Corvus, you don't want things chained down the line. You break the chain here early with Corvus. There you go. Flip that defense up and the defense down. One other thing I do want to mention here real quick is that this is another point where Skirmisher actually works pretty well with Morbius. You can see he's got offense down here. So that's with Proxima's special here, putting offense down. It's a little more difficult on a punch across to flip that defense up and the defense down with him having offense down. So this is where Skirmisher would be helpful on him because it gives that 50% boost in focus that would allow him to be able to flip this defense up and the defense down. You do want that to flip because you're basically going to then use the ultimate from Elsa and the special from Ghost Rider and just delete both Corvus and Cole Obsidian here in a second. So we're going to get some defense down and we're going to do some mind control on Cole Obsidian. Ultimate there takes out both Cole Obsidian and Corvus there, and you actually get a bunch of death proofs on Cole Obsidian here. But because there's a max health damage aspect to Elsa, I believe it basically just bypasses the death proofs and just absolutely murders Cole Obsidian. Because you can see it here, you may have seen it there. There was a 1 tick. Yeah, right there, under payback. 1 damage. So it seems that the max health damage from Stryker will bypass death proof. And yeah, no problem at all. So now we just have Thanos, Ebony, and Proxima left. Stun Thanos, so we don't have to worry about his ultimate here in the next turn. Had a blind on Proxima, so her stun missed. And now we're just gonna take down Thanos. Don't need to worry about the Hellsteel effect from Ebony Maw. It's not really gonna be that much of a make that much of a difference because at this point Thanos is stunned and you actually kill him before you have a chance to actually get him to clear out that stun. So really not a big deal. it's kind of delaying the inevitable. So really, at the end of the day, this team, it's going to have a lot of uses outside of fighting heroes for hire. And that's what I really wanted to show to you guys in this video. So, you know, I kind of want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Does this get you a little more excited into, I just disconnected the cord from my headphones here. Does this get you a little more excited about Dark Hunters? Do you guys want to see more? We're going to talk about Young Avengers in another video. We'll do a dedicated video on that. But let me know what you guys think down below. Questions, comments, concerns, anything you guys want to ask, be sure to drop them down below in the comment section. If you guys have enjoyed this video, found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.